Welcome back to New Rockstars. WandaVision is giving us nightmares of Vision as a corpse. How dead is this synthezoid exactly? And is Wanda a grave robber who samples the product? I'm Erik Voss. This is Rogue Theory. With me today is Inside Marvel co-host Jessica Clemons.
That was filthy. How dare you?
I don't know what you're
disgusting.
talking about. You read into
gross.
interpretation of sample that was not in my head.
Okay, whatever. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay, whatever. You infer what you infer. I'll imply what I imply. It was sex. It was sex. She's
I knew it. I knew. Ew, stop. Okay, we're not even gonna get into this. Not kink shaming, but actually kink shaming because you shouldn't have sex with a corpse.
Necrophiliac.
Yeah, no, never mind.
Necrophilia is something we can shame, I think.
Yes.
But you know what we are going to get into our other guest today, one of our favorite returning guests, writer Laura Sirikul.
Hi, I like how it transitioned from necrophilia to, hey, now it's Laura.
You're making a connect. Again, we're just making gross connections that I'm not saying explicitly, but, you know, through a recency bias.
And
Laura.
now to our next guest.
Speaking of dead body bangers, here's some of this might be cut from the episode.
Cut all of this. Cut all
Leave
of
that
it.
in. Leave that in.
Well, we're also thrilled to welcome a first-time guest on New Rockstars, but a longtime friend of the show, Chris McGowan. Hey, Chris.
Hi, Erik. Thanks for having me. And what if everyone's dead? Is it still necrophilia? That'll be my theory.
Oh, like
Oh,
blind leading the
zombie.
blind, it's dead leading the dead. We are going to answer all these questions this episode of Rogue Theory because we are now halfway through these WandaVision episodes. And as the walls of Westview are coming crumbling down, Vision, underneath his facade as Wanda's sitcom husband, is actually a terrifying gray corpse with a big old hole in his head from when Thanos ripped out the Mind Stone in Infinity War. Now, we have seen Vision trying to push through the Westview border, but on the outside, he reverts to corpse form, it looks like. You know, the hole is back in his head, and he is posing on his knees, just like the moment Wanda blew up his stone in Infinity War, killing him the first time. So what does it mean that Wanda sees Vision as a corpse? Does he always look this way under the illusion? Are Wanda's eyes just playing tricks on her? I want to start this conversation by talking about the removed Endgame post-credit scene that Paul Bettany admitted to, in which Vision's corpse would have been rolled out of a morgue drawer by Wanda. So does this mean that in WandaVision, did Wanda personally exhume Vision's corpse?
So I think it's so fresh. And then she had to go into battle with that frame of mind. And so she was like, okay, what do I do next? So I feel like the body was there. So I feel like she was able to, because she has this power. So I think she was able just to be able to like transform it and bring it somewhere else. Like just transport it somewhere else.
I didn't really think about that context. The fact that like for Wanda, it was just the immediate next minute that she saw she was holding Vision's corpse.
Yeah.
And then she comes back and even his corpse is gone. It's like, where did his corpse go? I didn't get a chance to bury him. And then like she sees Thanos there. In her mind, it's just the same Thanos. So he's like, I have no idea who you are. And she's like, you will. A nice adjustment from her in that moment because she must have thought, oh, maybe he hit his head on something and that's why he forgot who I was. I want to hear from you other two. What do you think this looks like? Is it a morgue that she's going into? Is she in a graveyard with a shovel somewhere?
I vaguely remember this, but I think it was in West Coast Avengers where he was basically captured and dismantled and kind of dissected by a bunch of like people that was under Kang the Conqueror, basically. Like he put them under a spell that made them do it. But when I thought about, I was like, oh, when I saw your theory about that being like, what is it? Is it the library? Is it inside of her brain? Is it a morgue? And then hearing the clip of you being like, yeah, she was supposed to like pull me out of that. What if they took pieces from that West Coast Avengers and was like, because they're giving homage to every kind of comic book like version of Vision and Wanda. So what if they did that homage of like, oh, he was, which I think I said at first he wasn't. I was like, I disagree with this idea, but what if he is being dissected or worked upon, and when she finds the body, that's when she like starts WandaVision, and that's why maybe when she comes to, she'll be in that room with that corpse in the morgue or the dissection lab, probably under sword, but we don't know. But I was like, what if that's the case? So I guess essentially the same thing, like it's just the corpse there in the middle, and she just starts around.
Yeah, so just like I'm trying to picture this spatially. There's just a dead synthezoid corpse sitting in the middle of this real life New Jersey town, but it's been all coated in this like reality bubble. Like, what is physically happening to Vision right now? Is he being dragged around like a rag doll? Is he being puppeted around? Or is it just like his presence within that vicinity is enough for her to like project his consciousness, like walking around and goofing around sitcom style with her?
I have a theory, and they're starting to kind of intersect, so I'm sure they'll come out through this. But Vision is only alive, as everyone sees him correctly and fine, in that bubble, because Wanda's energy is kind of like a wireless charger. So while he's in the bubble, her energy is bringing him back. And to where he was before. I keep thinking like sentient weapon, and if Vision to me is a sentient weapon. So what if Sword had a body? Hey everybody, Vision's dead body is gone, and now they're like, oh, it's here, and like now these kind of forces are kind of coming together to try to figure out what happened.
I like that idea of a portable charging station, right? Like basically he's has his battery removed when the Mind Stone was taken out. That's what made him die in that moment, because he's got all kinds of components, you know? And they were trying to basically bypass Vision's battery. That's what Shuri was doing. She was doing what like George Costanza was doing, the Frogger machine, and was just trying to keep it charged so they wouldn't need this battery, or they wouldn't need the charging port. So is that what Wanda's doing? Her powers are derived from the Mind Stone. Is she trying to be like an organ replacement as a Mind Stone source? Like she plugs into his brain, keeps him back on life support, but as soon as he unplugs from her, he's dead again?
He's probably only exists in her world too. Remember, Agent Wu went to visit a missing person report because it was a witness protection program person. I think that witness protection program was part of some kind of experimental thing who had Vision's body to work on. And I feel like when she went, you know, and sees his body, like she just went like something triggered her. Remember, she has the power to destroy the stone. So that means she has the power to generate the stone.
So do you think that missing person, Laura, is Vision? That like Jimmy Woo was just kind of using some coding language, that he had some kind of like operation with Hayward and Sword, and the missing person was just this entity that they were operating on that went poof once it was brought to Westview?
I think the missing person was Agnes or Dottie, who has the power.
Could there be a world where like the witness isn't who we think it is? Is there a situation at play that like, okay, I know this is kind of going into what we all think, that possibly Tyler is at work on this and Tyler is the bad guy. Yeah. So what if there is So what if there was something at Sword that like intercepted the FBI? Did Wu ever actually physically meet this witness person, or was it always like communicated virtually or remotely, and he never like talked to him face to face?
I assume Wu must have like made contact with his witness, like based off of how FBI protocol works. Is like they have like kind of a one-on-one connection with this criminal informant. They relocate them. I mean, he did say that he had talked to this person's former associates, right? So based on that, I would assume he would know who that person was.
Well, he might, if he talked to his former associates, doesn't mean he talked to him. I'm only making this idea because it's like, what if he is someone, what if the witness is someone, like, not saying it's Mephisto, but what if, I'm not saying it's Mephisto, I'm not saying it, but I will say really quick, what if possibly, like, if Mephisto turned himself into something else and he's just doing that the entire time? So what if he does turn himself into the witness in protection, and that's who Wu sees him as? But it's actually Tyler Hayward. This is for later, but I'm just like thinking of these scenarios of just like, what if like Wu is being deceived himself? And I mean, I'm sure he is, because he's FBI at Sword now, just like kind of running amok. But there has to be a situation where Wu is wrong. Who has to show up wrong?
I think Wu is being used at the very least. I don't think Jimmy Woo is going to be part of a conspiracy. I think he's too much of a good guy. I mean, he is John Krasinski, so you can trust that face, you know, when he's sitting across from you at your Dunder Mifflin desk. He's always been working
What?
with you. What are you talking about?
He's the John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not just any agent; it's Agent Wu, who is familiar with Skrulls, like as you all have discussed. It's not like Agent Joe Schmo. He knows what's going on, so it's
That's
very
true.
particular and specific that he was assigned to this case.
That is true. That is true.
I think like when you have someone in witness protection, the higher ups at the FBI have to approve that, and there has to be some kind of like thumbs up, some check mark on that. I feel like the acting director of Sword might have been able to pull some strings to get that person relocated. That's why I think Hayward, the fact that these were introduced back to back, that Hayward knew about this but didn't know enough. Like, why would he send someone to an FBI with just someone to operate a little remote control drone? Like, anybody can do that. Like, it's ridiculous that she was sent there. Obviously, there's something there. But, like, getting back to Vision, so do we think, like, how long could he last outside of Westview? Like, is he going to, like, stay dead as soon as this charade is over?
Oh, no.
Are we seeing the last of Vision?
So Shuri never finished her work, right? So there isn't a fake stone that Wanda could use, right?
Yeah, not a fake stone, and I don't think, I Shuri was interrupted by Corvus Glaive, who got in there. She did close a couple files, just like, no, I'm just looking at porn, and then it all closed, and who knows how much progress she made, but it sounds like she didn't get them completely downloaded.
Because, thinking about this, I think Wanda, even as powerful as she is, she knows this isn't going to last forever. Like, someone's going to get in there. She knows her fellow Avengers, somebody. So she's trying to run out the clock and do whatever she's doing. In my mind, making an artificial battery. So maybe she doesn't have Shuri's designs. Maybe she's like, maybe I can do something to make this last beyond the bubble, and then I'll just kind of make everyone forget and run away with Vision.
Oh,
Maybe
I like
there's
that
just
idea.
too many hands in the pot.
Mm-hmm.
The situation, because Wanda's trying to save it, Sword's trying to save it, FBI's trying to save it, Monica's trying to figure out.
Yeah. I could see that. That's a good idea. But this idea that, okay, so now we know that Vision is dead. Based off of the Sword dry erase board when they were IDing everyone, right? Like, the people with valid New Jersey driver's license, I think we can assume are alive. But it's weird because, like, where are their bodies? Like, how did they get their driver's license if, like, their bodies are inside Westview? Like, are their bodies somewhere else, or are their homes somewhere else? Like, did they pull, those looked like their actual IDs, or did they just print off their IDs and then clip them out to look like IDs?
Like, we know the last 3 videos you rented online, Erik Voss, and we know.
Sure, I mean, they can pull a printout, but why would they cut them out to look like ID shaped? It's just weird.
Because their set directors are impeccable.
But they don't think about the logic of it?
No, they're just making this look good.
To save space.
Yeah, there's an eager admin assistant who's like, this is my chance to shine. I'm going to make these IDs look just like IDs, and it's going to be on the board, and they're going to say I did it,
I would put it in latex. I would straight up do it.
Yeah.
I would, like, do
I would
everything.
laminate
it.
it.
Like these New Jersey IDs. Yeah, like...
Now, here's what it is.
Did you do this?
Guys, we figured out. They're sending in all those drones. Those drones are and they go into people's house and they lift their wallets out of their back pockets and they take out their New Jersey IDs and they fly back to Sword HQ and they're like, thanks, drone. And that's all they
Black
need
Mirror
the
episode of thieving.
Yeah, like everyone can't find their ID when they're buying alcohol.
Everyone's like, where's my ID?
We got on a tangent. We got a tangent, but it's a valid question. I'll do a whole video about it.
It's not a valid question.
It's totally valid. How did they get their IDs?
How did they get their IDs?
Their sword. They literally
So they reprinted, they relaminated their IDs, Jessica. They got out a laminator and they're like, we need this to be another ID. Yep. I hope they punched a hole in the other one.
You yourself in one of your theories were like, look at that guy in the back who's excited to just watch the TV and be there. That was his doing.
I didn't say that was a theory. That's just the guy I related with. Because he's great.
Yeah, he had that smile because he's like, wait till they see the work I did.
I worked so hard.
No. Don't change that channel. I was watching that. But my point for bringing up the IDs was the fact that these are living people if their IDs are still there. I think we can make that assumption that these people are all still alive. Otherwise, why would Sword say like, oh, we're worried about getting these people out? But no ID for Agnes. And we know from the trailer where she told Vision, am I dead? And he's like, no, why would you say that? And she's like, as you are, ha ha ha. Like, is she dead too? Are we going to see a corpse Catherine Hahn?
No, because she's a witch.
And she's amazing.
So witches never die?
No, of course they don't. What kind of question is that?
What a waste of Catherine Hahn.
She's amazing. Also, yeah, Catherine Hahn. That's a waste of Catherine Hahn. Damn straight. I would sue them.
Hey, maybe that is it. Like when she said, "Am I dead?" Maybe she was like almost killed. Like she was burnt at Salem or something like that. Because we know her anniversary with Ralph is when the Salem trials began, June 2nd. Maybe she was burned, but like she keeps getting reincarnated in these different forms because she is a witch. She is supernatural, and she's never really sure whether she's alive or dead. Because once you become immortal, what's the difference?
Could she also be? I know Agnes the Witch is a very popular theory, but could she be an embodiment of the Mind Stone, much like Ghost Red Skull was? Could she be like, you need me, Wanda, to do this, so here I am as your neighbor?
No, Chris, she's only Agatha. She's Agatha Harkness. That's it. That's
I
the only
would love
theory.
to believe it, but
It's
I
not
also
there.
am like, I can only be with Agatha.
No, I'm kidding, Chris. I actually think that could be accurate in the way that I think all of these characters are being painted and projected by Mind Stone-derived radiation at the end of the day. I think the fact that they call this radiation, they call it CMBR, I think it's all really coming from the fact that she got her powers from the Mind Stone. That's her link. That's her physical link with Vision, that he was powered from the Mind Stone. And somehow that same radiation is what is causing these people to look the way they look in Westview. So I think both of us could be right. But only I am right when it comes to the weirdness of those
right.
IDs. When it comes to his driver's license, you know who's right. It's weird. How did they get them? They can't just print those out.
Oh my god, people in the comments are gonna be like, of course they can. They're just sword.
They're going to be like, I work at a DMV. We print out so many copies of your IDs and we use it to get liquor. I don't know why they don't read my ID. They could buy their own liquor. Anyway, well, of the ideas I heard, because, hey, by the way, this may seem like a conversation, but this is in my brain, and I am constantly awarding and subtracting points from people whenever I talk to them. Ooh. I'm not going to tell you my code or my algorithm. It's too hard to explain, and if I did, your head would explode. But instead, I will say one of you is going to get a golden sparkle buck for your take. So the golden sparkle buck is going to go to Chris McGowan for his portable charging station theory.
The rudest thing, like the most shade and also a good theory. Vision is just a walking plug-in portable charger.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
So rude.
That's great.
So if I was Vision, I'd be like, wow.
I think that's why he gets mad the next episode, yeah.
All right, we're going to theorize about the possible dark motivations of the director of Sword and what really Sword is doing in this show. But first, we want to thank some people who helped us make this episode, starting with our friends at Caliper CBD. So this episode's brought to you by Caliper CBD and their CBD powder that helps you feel better without making drastic changes to your routine. Their 20 milligram packets of CBD powder are completely flavorless. They mix easily into any food or drink. Bring them on the road with you or take them to work, wherever you might need a little calming CBD influence in your life. They have been really great for my sleep, and other members of the New Rockstars staff really like them for easing soreness and stress. Caliper CBD comes in affordable 30 and 60 count packs. Individual packets give you the benefits of CBD wherever you go. Caliper is completely THC free. Really all the goodness of CBD, but you're not going to get high from doing it. Thus why we're okay saying take it on the road. We wouldn't say that if you could get high from this stuff. There are kids watching. It's clinically proven that you can absorb 450% more CBD with Caliper CBD powder compared to tinctures. 450! That's a lot of percent! Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code ROGUE at trycaliper.com/rogue. You can try Caliper CBD risk-free for 30 days. And if you don't love it, they'll give you a full refund. That's trycaliper.com/rogue. Don't forget that promo code ROGUE for 20% off your first order. We also want to thank our friends at Helix Sleep for sponsoring this episode. I've been losing sleep running through the Mephisto theories in my head. And also seeing Mephisto when I look up at the ceiling corner, he's just kind of like clutching himself in there, like, you know, the insidious demon. He's there. He's everywhere. He's laughing at me in the corner right now, but he's also, I think, right behind me. So you can tell why I'm having sleep trouble. But I have not been losing sleep because of a bad mattress. I have a great mattress. You know where I got that mattress? Helix Sleep. I have a personalized mattress from Helix Sleep. They shipped it straight to my door with free no-contact delivery, free returns, and a 100-night sleep trial. Helix made a sleep quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete, and it matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. I took the quiz. I was matched to, I think it's the Dusk Looks Helix mattress, because I wanted like a medium to firm mattress, but with lumbar support, and they hooked me up. It's like the perfect one for me. I love Helix, but you don't need to take my word for it. Helix was awarded #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ, Wired Magazine, Apartment Therapy. Just go to helixsleep.com/rogue theory, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they will match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you're gonna love it. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/rogue theory. And finally, New Rockstars is excited to be partnering with the app Stereo on 3 new weekly live shows. We just finished our first week of these shows. They were super fun. We heard from a lot of you, and we were actually in the top 20 shows on the app. That's exciting. All 3 shows are live on the Stereo app. You listen to us talking in real time. You can send us audio voicemails. We'll play it. We'll respond to it. You can call us out when I mispronounce something, or say that Jimi Hendrix was from the Bay Area as opposed to from Washington State. You can correct me in real time. Yeah, I know that now. I'm an idiot. You can download this app for free at stereo.com/newrockstars. And if you download using that link, you will automatically follow us and be notified about all of our new shows whenever we go live. So yeah, with Stereo, you interact with us in real time. You submit these voicemails. We're going to play during the shows. We're going to answer your questions, react to your theories. And these are our new Stereo exclusive shows. So one is one that Jessica and I did last Friday. It's an expanded interactive version of our Inside Marvel WandaVision after show. That's every Friday morning at 8 a.m. That doesn't replace or delay anything else we're doing. We are doing this show, and then you're going to see the video version normal time, Friday afternoon. But if you want to get it early and get those fresh hot takes fresh in the morning with your hot bagel, you gotta find us 8 a.m. Pacific time on Stereo. But also there's New Rockstars News. That's with me and Philip Molina, reacting to the biggest nerdy headlines of the week and answering your questions. That's every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific. And then I think my favorite of the 3, our editor's show, that comes out Monday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific with our editors John and Josh, who are giving you like a peek behind the scenes at New Rockstars, telling you all the dirty secrets we don't want you to know, reacting to the comments and the videos of the week that came out on the channel, and just kind of giving you, basically what really is happening at New Rockstars that I can't tell you about because I have too much shame. So access these live shows, submit your voicemail questions and theories, and interact with us in real time by downloading the free Stereo app at stereo.com/newrockstars. That's stereo.com/newrockstars. All right, let's get back to WandaVision. So Sword, we have learned, is currently being run by acting director Tyler Hayward. This guy got promoted to the position during the blip when the job was probably going to go to Monica Rambeau after her mother's death. Her mother's cancer returned right in the middle of the blip, and according to Monica, Tyler was the only person for the job, which I felt was kind of an insult. He's like, wait, did he say I was the only one for the job, or did she say you're the only one?
Yeah, he said it. He said it.
Okay, so it wasn't an insult. He was just trying to be like, no, I guess I was the only one who could do it.
It was like kind of an insult still. It was like a little shade of like,
self-shade.
You're the only one that can do it, but I'm in it.
So in Monica's absence, a lot has been going on at Sword. We got missing astronauts. They're working on nanotech, robotics, AI, sentient weapon creation, and now Hayward assigns Monica to, Westview, New Jersey to run a drone. But really, I think he assigned her to this Westview anomaly for a reason. So what do we think Sword is really up to? What is Sword's big mission? And did Hayward know more about Westview than he initially led on to Monica when he gave her that assignment?
Yes, everything. Yes, yes to everything. I think he definitely set her up because, like countless people have already said, you especially, of why would you send her on a mission like this? Mm-hmm. She doesn't need to be sent. And if you guys are truly lacking all of the like necessary people that you need because of the blip, why would you send the most important person on something like this? Yeah. And then when he was also saying like we're missing all of these people, I was like, what if we're missing the actual acting director? What if we're missing
They're
like the
tied up
actual
in a-
person and he's oh my god, what if we get that scene? Sorry, I'm screaming, but oh my god, we'll probably get that scene. We'll probably get that scene. Episode 7, I'm gonna call it. But I think we'll get that scene. It's just in a closet. It's in a broom closet. Some person is just he's
And they're
behind.
feeding them every day.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get it. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. The real person.
No, I think I think this guy even lied about Maria Rambeau saying that I want you to ground my daughter if she ever comes back. Like, what a weird dying request to make. Like, if my daughter ever comes back from this like seemingly permanent rapture, make sure she doesn't go on any space missions. Why would Maria do that? Why wouldn't she want her daughter to live her dreams in the stars? He's lying. He's a liar.
Okay, so I'm gonna defend that because I think immediately she comes back. I think that like the reason why she's like, don't give her a space mission because she just came back and she just found out I'm dead. So I think that that's like a ground as like, it's like a mom thing to do, as a thing to do.
No,
Like,
are you saying that like if she gets in a space cockpit, she's just gonna keep flying forever into space?
No, it's like, oh, because she needs to grieve, She came back like within like a few days. So I'm like,
you can grieve on the moon.
Probably not the best place. Probably not the best place.
But to touch on Jessica, I totally agree that I don't think that's really Tyler Hayward, especially since Skrulls was mentioned.
Oh, you think he's a Skrull? Are you doing a Skrull search, Laura Sirikul? I would love. My heart would soar if that happened. I think you're onto something. Obviously, Skrulls are gonna come up. They already have come up. They were on Jimmy Woo's board, but I actually think that Hayward is like anti-Skrull. I think he is like Skrull like suspicious. Like he doesn't trust them, and there are other factions of sort. I think Maria Rambeau's faction was very pro collaboration with Skrulls, and then Tyler Hayward was kind of happy to see her go. He's like, good, I'm gonna crack it down. Only Terrans in Sword. I don't want any freaking Skrull collaborators, and then they get banished to the space station, but he wants only humans actually on Earth.
I also defend Tyler here, our friend here.
Okay.
He's our friend?
I think he's
no friend.
I misheard that exchange, but the way I always interpret that moment, and I know it seems suspicious that it's only targeted toward Monica. The way I interpret it is this: they've been living through this blip thing, and so I like the idea that he's anti-Skrull. So anyone who just shows up and says, "Hey, I'm Monica," it's like you got to ground anybody who shows up for 6 months, and we're gonna run Skrull tests on them just to be sure this is really a person who got unblipped. So it's not just Monica; it's anybody.
Okay. I think that's gonna start getting. I agree with that. The part that makes me nervous is I feel like it's gonna be doing the same thing that Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury was doing, where it's the situation of like everyone's a bigger threat than us, and we need to make sure we have a weapon that makes us the biggest threat. So we might be getting that same storyline again. But I like the idea, and I could see that happening of him being like too overly cautious, and this is what's gonna slowly go into the Skrull like war that we're gonna see eventually. But
I think there's a reason why Monica is part of this show, and I think it's because of the Skrulls, because her connection with the Skrulls. And we don't know enough about Tyler Hayward to know if he's like anti-Skrull, because like there's nothing that he says he hates extraterrestrials.
I just got that, Laura, from the fact that like he's like, oh, we're just preparing for threats, in outer space, and she's like, well, there's allies up there too, and he's just kind of like, whatever. And I saw this huge eye roll that the actor didn't really do, but he just didn't have a response. He's just kind of like, off to New Jersey, little one.
To be fair, that actor plays like the bad guy in a lot of shows. He just has that. He just has that demeanor in that face. Yeah, he has a dick face. He does have a dick face.
That's all.
The opposite of bitch face.
He has resting dick face.
I do have a wild theory. I have a wild theory as to what Tyler is really doing. And I know this is all. I'm going to be the odd one out here because I'm not on the team Mephisto. I'm on team Annihilus.
Okay.
And if in the MCU they had this is very complicated, not complicated, but they had Vision's body, so like, and he's like, I want to build my own Vision, so they build Annihilus. Annihilus goes, F you, I'm out of here, and so he runs away, and he's like, so now his weapon got out, and so that's why they're interested in finding this zone, and then maybe Annihilus is over where Wanda and Vision are.
I love Annihilus being part of this. I feel like that would be the comic tie-in that no one saw coming. But I think like
first.
Either way, I think no matter what, we know that like we don't know this, but it really does seem like Hayward knew what was going on in Westview. He had that whole line of like, yeah, I know what CMBR is. It's, relic radiation dating back to the Big Bang. Blah, blah, blah. I gotta get back to HQ. Like, this guy is a bumbling dope when he keeps sending in drone after drone, person after person in there. Like, this guy, he's like, I think he made some kind of deal ahead of time. He knew what he was sending Monica into. So he's pulling some strings, maybe not all the strings. I at least think he might have been involved with Maria's death. What do you guys think about that?
Is anyone ever dead? Is anyone ever dead?
Touche.
Is anyone ever dead? Give me my gold ticket now. Okay, so let me finish first. So I think, so first off, I think for cinematic reasons, for the writing, yes, that would be great for them to write in. If Tyler is the villain, he had to have killed Maria. Like, also with all this radiation that's going on, I feel like, I'm not saying this is like a Dr. Manhattan situation, but like, she could have got cancer from this, and he could have been like not supplying it, but orchestrating the amounts that are coming in. And she's also in space. We know that she found his sword, so like, that's another thing. But I think she will come back. And by come back, she's going to be like taunted in the bubble to Monica if Monica breaches the bubble again. I think Monica is now, we're recognizing she is like our protagonist. Yeah, he did have something to do with her death. Story-wise, it'll make sense. But I also think she's going to come back. Even if it's for a brief moment of time, I think her like form will come back in that bubble.
I am going to award 1 golden sparkle buck to Laura for tying in Skrulls. I don't know if Hayward is a Skrull himself, but I think his role in this is going to be Skrull connected for sure.
The smiling guy is a Skrull.
Yeah.
Smiling. You
It's
can
like
get all the
it's
IDs.
Yeah,
Totally
totally.
a Skrull.
He's a Skrull. See, give him a
He's
point.
totally a
We're-
Skrull.
Yeah,
We're tying
Skrulls
it all back.
are great
He made those
forgers.
licenses. That's why he made all those licenses. He didn't know what he was really
No one will
doing.
find out.
Chris, for your Annihilus theory, I'm giving you a golden sparkle buck as well. And whatever, Jessica, you get 1 for saying Maria comes back in a form as a taunt to
I was like,
Monica.
everybody gets 1 but me. I'm
You
the
get
child
one.
in the classroom.
Okay.
Okay.
It's his participation trophy round. Everyone gets a taste. Well, it is time for us to move on to our rogue question. So this is our question this week. I want to hear each of you answer this. This week, LEGO released a white noise playlist of just their blocks being assembled. Click, 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 click. What nerdy noise
What?
takes you to your happy place?
Why would they do that?
It works.
Does it make noise? I'm looking around my room for Legos right
I have
now.
to
They're
be
in
honest.
the living room.
Legos gives me anxiety because I'm always afraid. I'm always afraid to do it the wrong way. So if I hear click click, I'm gonna be like, "Is that correct? Did they put it in the right spot?"
I have 2 answers.
Okay.
1, nostalgic. Anytime that Transformer noise goes, bah, 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 bah,
Yeah, oh
it's
yes.
just like a little, it's a little like dope, a little shot of childhood there. And there's actually a YouTube channel that has this. They have 10 hours of the TARDIS hum. Just the,
Oh,
and you
that's
just put that on, and
nice.
it feels like you're actually on the TARDIS, and it would put me right to sleep.
You know what mine is, I think? Because I took a Foley class in college. I'm better than everybody. No, I'm joking. Foley class in college. And and then boop. Boop. You are such a butthole. You're so mean to me. But my favorite noise was the Star Wars doors opening, because it's just a letter coming out of an envelope, just going shoop. So I think that noise, if that was played a lot, it's very soothing to hear.
That's
those
really
doors
all
open.
it was? They just took a letter out of an envelope? That's
Yeah, you want to make fun of me now?
amazing.
You want to make
Not
fun of me
at
now?
all. Never again. I stand corrected. I'm so glad you took your Foley class to tell me that.
Oh my god. So yeah, I do love that Transformer one, but I do have one that I actually play like every time I walk in and out of the room. I have this command badge, like it. So when you walk by it sounds of the Star Trek doors opening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's
I
very
really
cool.
love that. Like if I could just, I always like, even if I don't need to walk through the hallway, I just walk through the hallway just so I can hear it. Like I walk through, And I'm just like, this is so soothing.
Well, the Golden Sparkle Buck is going to go to Jessica for that, just for giving us a nice bit of a Star Wars trivia that you probably overpaid for some class in college to learn.
Don't even. Why would you even say that? You know I did. You know I did.
Every college
fun,
course is overpriced. College tuition should be free.
But it was fun. If I would have found that class, I kid you not, senior year, like winter of senior year. If I found that freshman year, I would have been a Foley artist. I would have been like, bye, you guys, I'm going to be a Foley artist.
What was your final? What was your final? Like,
I had to take off all the audio of a scene from the from the Lego movie, the first Lego movie. And it was the scene where they're like flying through the copter and then they go through the moon. And we had to make even the voiceover part. So I played Elizabeth Banks, I was like,
oh, cool.
Like, it was not good. It was not good, but it was really fun.
So you have to, like, you had to release the Muppet Doc. You now have to release the Lego Pieces Project.
The saddest thing about this is my terabyte drive from college got corrupted, and I was trying to put this on my website. I kid you guys not. I don't mind sharing this. This is the coolest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
You'll just have to recreate it now.
Yeah, you'll have to remake it. You have until tomorrow.
I broke like 32 bottles. I was like, yeah, I'll do that in my bedroom.
Well, I think I have 2 points for each, Jessica and Chris, and so the tie will go to the newcomer, making you, Chris, the winner of this week of Rogue Theory.
It was a close match.
It was very, very close. A bunch of great theories. I loved hearing from all three of you guys. That is it for this episode of Rogue Theory. I want to thank our guests, Laura Sirikul, Chris McGowan, and Jessica Clemons. Follow all three of them on their social media platforms. Show them some love. Support their various projects. And you can support our channel by checking out one of our many great merch options. This is our Unusual Couple latest Obsession shirt. I think we are selling out of these, so you got to jump on there fast. It's a great shirt. Get it at newrockstarsmerch.com. You can also follow me at EA Voss, follow New Rockstars, subscribe to here on New Rockstars to here right now. Thank you. Also, a reminder to download the Stereo app by going to stereo.com/newrockstars so that you can listen to our 3 new weekly live shows. It's not just our shows on Stereo. You can join a wide range of conversations on topics like comedy, pop culture, and sports. Download the app for free on Apple and Android and create an avatar and profile. Be sure to download now so that you can submit questions to one of our upcoming shows. Jessica and I will be there tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. talking about tonight's episode of WandaVision. I will see you there and see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, lovies.
Bye, lovies.
I'm trying to come up with a new phrase to say goodbye to.